Hello.
Hello. We're going to start on the count of 5. So here we go.
Hi, everyone. This is the May 8th meeting of the Brisbane Parks and Recreation Commission. I will now call the meeting to order at, 6:36 p.m. Can we have a roll call, please?
Absolutely. We should consider any request of a commissioner to attend the meeting remotely under the emergency circumstances of AB 2449. That does not apply for tonight, so we'll proceed with our roll call. Starting with Chairperson Sims.
Aye. Here, present. Sorry.
No, we got that. Commissioner Kern.
Present.
Commissioner Ocampo.
Present.
Commissioner Sewell.
Present.
Thank you.
All right. Now, do any commissioners have any amendments to the minutes for the meeting of April 10th? Any edits to?
Actually, we have adoption of the agenda first
Oh,
for
sorry.
tonight's agenda and then the minutes.
Okay. Are we okay adopting the agenda for tonight? Does anyone want to give me a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Natalie. Can we have a roll call?
We can. We're adopting tonight's agenda, starting with Chairperson Sims,
Aye.
Commissioner Kern,
Aye.
Commissioner Ocampo,
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Now we're going to approve the minutes. Does anyone have any amendments or edits to the minutes for April 10th?
None here. I make a motion to approve the April 10th meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
Excellent.
Alrighty. So now we're approving the minutes from our meeting last month. Chairperson Sims,
Aye.
Commissioner Kern,
Aye.
Commissioner Ocampo,
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. That brings us to citizen communications. Do we have any written communications?
We do not.
All right. Now we will look at presentations. I believe we do have a presentation this evening of our Club Rec Summer Preview and Preschool.
Yes, commissioners, hello and good evening. We are excited that we have Angela here with us tonight, who will be presenting all things youth programs for our department. You might remember this presentation from last year where it was both Sarah and Angela up at the podium. And now with some shifting of our staff, Angela is responsible for all of the areas that she'll be sharing tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over the mic to her and enjoy.
All right. Well, thank you for that introduction. I am going to be, like Nicole mentioned, talking about our youth childcare programs, mostly highlighting beginning fall 2023 through present day. So we can go ahead and get started. Starting with our Club Rec after school program, we do currently have 110 children enrolled in that program, and we have about 91 of them attending each day. And we did start off our school year with 22 children on the wait list, but we were able to accommodate all of those families by November of 2023. And highlighting some of the activities and events that have taken place in our after-school program. We do have various arts and crafts and games, as you can see, some photos of slime and parachute play. We also had our kindergarten class performing at last year's Festival of Lights event, which was very fun to watch and see all of their practice come to light, and they did a great job at that event, so we were really proud of them. We also had, more recently, our Brisbane Fire Department help us with some emergency preparedness. They were on site at our program to observe one of our fire drills, and they provided some feedback on how they felt that the fire drill went, and also let us know what we can do in the future to improve our fire drills. And we were hoping that they would be able to show the kids the fire truck, and but unfortunately they had to leave on a call. But we were still grateful that they were present and made the effort to be there and help us with our emergency preparedness. Now highlighting some of our preschool events. We do currently have 16 participants enrolled, and that's been pretty consistent throughout the school year. And some of our events that we did have more recently, our holiday performance, when we invited families to come and watch the children sing holiday songs, and they always enjoy being welcomed into our classroom space and being able to mingle with other families. So that was really fun. We also had our Community Helpers Week with our Public Works and Police Department, where they came out and spoke to the children about their jobs and why what they do is important to our community. So we appreciated their time spent on that. And we do have our Mother's Day tea party coming up this Friday, actually, where we are inviting moms and caregivers and really anyone who's able to attend to spend some time drinking tea and eating cucumber sandwiches with the little ones. So we're super excited for that. And we do have our graduation coming up the first week of June as well, which is when we have our graduating students, which are students who are moving on to TK or kindergarten, and we have a little celebration for them and invite all of the families and caregivers out to Mission Blue to watch them cross the stage. And our Parents' Night Out events, we had quite a few between September of last year and now, and our enrollment totals have been pretty consistent. And some of the highlights from those events, besides being able to wear your pajamas and hang out with your friends and watch a movie, we did make Oreo dirt cups. We made pancakes for the kids. We made hot cocoa. We had holiday cookie decorating. And of course, at every Parents' Night Out, there was always pizza, which the kids loved. And our seasonal camps, so besides our summer camp, we do have Thanksgiving, winter, and spring camp. And for our Thanksgiving camp, we did have 34 participants join us, and we did disguise the turkey activity, where the kids were tasked with having a turkey printout and making it look like anything but a turkey, which was really fun to see them express their creativity. And some of them turned it into a Starbucks cup or popcorn or all sorts of fun things. So that was really fun to see. Our winter camp, we had 16 enrolled for our first session and 27 for the second. And at winter camp, we did do a melting snowman craft and also made Grinch slime, which was really popular. And spring camp, we had 44 enrolled for that first session and 39 for the second. And this was our first time since 2019 doing field trips for spring camp, and the school district did provide buses for transportation. So we did appreciate that collaboration with them. And we went to Jolly Roger Land in Union City and also Classic Bowling Center in Daly City, and ended off our Classic Bowling Center trip at Orange Park in South San Francisco, which the kids really enjoyed, being able to play at a park outside of their normal community. And summer camp last year, we had 8 weeks of camp and about 88 participants ages 5 through 12 enrolled in each week of camp. And we had all sorts of fun field trips. We went to a water park. We went to Great America. We did one field trip in our own community park and rented out a few bounce houses, which you can see some of the kids enjoying riding down that slide at the bounce house. And we did have our summer camp at Littman Middle School last year, which was really convenient with the close proximity to the community pool and also the large space which we were able to utilize for our activities and games, and also our weekly demonstrations which we had last year. And we also offered for the first time our aftercare program last year, which is an extra hour of extended care for working families who are not able to pick up their children at 5 p.m., which is when our normal camp hours end. So we extended care up until 6, and it was an optional enrollment that parents could sign their children up for. And we also had our summer enrichment grant, which allowed for those weekly demonstrations, which I mentioned earlier. We did have some sushi making going on and miso soup, which taught the children some basic cooking skills and knife skills, which was a bit scary at first, but they actually did a lot better than we thought they would. We also had a petting zoo come out and a dry ice demonstration, as well as the Bay Area Discovery Museum. So that grant really allowed for a lot of new additions and enrichment to our camp program. And looking ahead to this year's camp program, we have 90 campers enrolled in each week of the program. And again, it is 8 weeks. And we do have 75 children waitlisted currently, but we are assessing whether we can safely accommodate more participants for those sessions that are in higher demand. And highlighting our leaders in training. Last year we had 32 applicants, and this year we have 36. And interviews are beginning next week, and we will have a maximum of 10 LITs per session. And these LITs are teen volunteers between the ages of 13 through 17, and they are a really helpful addition to camp. They help our staff members with activity preparing and with just genuine companionship with a lot of the children and building those bonds and relationships with them. And the goal is to build them up to be future recreation leaders. And our club rec staff, we did recruit 7 new recreation leaders and 5 new recreation leader aides this year. And a lot of these include former YAC members, campers who grew up in the programs in Brisbane, and also former LITs, including some LITs who were with us last year and are now moving up to becoming recreation leaders or recreation leader aides. And we also have our staff in service training week coming up June 17th through 21st, which we will spend an entire week making sure that our staff are gaining the knowledge and the tools that they need to have a successful 8-week program. And that's it. Thank you.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well done.
Any
Allowed to ask
questions? Yeah.
The aftercare, you said you were able to accommodate everybody. How did that take place? You
The-
had 36.
The club
Oh,
record,
club
the
rec.
22, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a combination of working with the elementary school in being able to utilize some of their space, which is their multi-purpose room, and also access to one of their classrooms, and also being able to recruit new staff members. That was one of the big concerns, is making sure that we had adequate supervision in the program to be able to accommodate all of those families. So it was a lengthy process, it felt like at the time, but we were actually able to achieve it pretty quickly.
And in 2023, the wait list for summer camp, do you remember what it was?
It was similar to this year. I don't remember the exact number, but it was similar.
Can I ask a follow-up question? If we had that same wait list, were we able to accommodate people, or what happened with that wait list?
Yeah, so last year, our initial registration was 80 participants per week. That was our maximum capacity, and we did increase it to 90, so we took 10 more participants each week. And now knowing with the size of Littman, we are going to be at Littman again, and also being able to recruit all of those staff members, those new staff members, we are starting at 90, and now evaluating whether we can increase that this year, similar to how we did last year.
If I may, the other addition for summer is that the other issue sometimes that we need to consider is that we do the field trips, and so the bus. And so as we've evaluated our fees and the cost of the buses and staff time, that does play a big role. I will say with our collaboration with the school district, we are looking into ways that we might be able to use one of their buses on, maybe 3 of those busier weeks, but that also is then dependent on their bus driver's schedule. And right now that is still to be determined, but that does play a factor more so than for Club Rec.
And I'm going to guess there are no children that do not want to go on the field trip. Okay. I was just checking to see if there were opt-outs. Okay.
And I will say too, this year we have also added the Dink and Dunk summer camp to try and provide an alternative camp option. So Dink and Dunk being pickleball and swimming camp. And we do still have enrollment for that particular camp, and we'll continue to do some marketing for that. But that is another one that I believe right now we have about 15 or 20 additional students that we're accommodating in that program each week.
And for that, is the cost the same as, okay,
Yes.
got it.
And is the time the same? I'm thinking if you're a parent and you just need someone to kind of keep an eye on your children while you
Yes.
work.
It's the same time then we do, because we offer the aftercare program and because it's in close proximity, the pool and the tennis courts. If there were people that wanted to then go to aftercare, we have staff that can walk them over there.
Okay. Great. And the 75 on the wait list, are they mainly local, like Brisbane, or are they also from outside of Brisbane?
It varies. I don't have the exact numbers for our wait list and how many are residents versus non-residents, but in our camps, it is approximately 83% of our enrolled campers who are residents currently.
And if I may, I did also want to add that number of the 75 on the wait list is for all 8 weeks of program. So it's not 75 campers each week. So maybe there's about 10 or 15 each week, and then that's 75 kids in total for the summer.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Okay, that makes me feel better. I just don't want to overlook just saying how impressed I am with all of these activities. I mean, just seeing the pictures and the looks of joy on the children's faces. Thank you for all you're doing. I can tell they're having a very good time, and this would have been absolutely dreamy when I was a young person to have all of those activities and treats. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's our goal, to provide them with memories that last a lifetime.
Aw,
It is.
that's great.
Yeah.
And great job elevating the experience with the sushi and the miso soup. Like that is like, that's next
That
level.
is-
Yeah, it's above and beyond.
Yeah. It's a great program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Anything else on that before we kind of go on in the agenda? All right, I think that is our only presentation, and it looks like we don't have any old business, so we'll go straight to new business, starting with ideas for National Parks and Recreation Month.
So at this point, I think you're all pretty well versed in knowing that July is National Parks and Recreation Month, and the last few years we've approached this a couple of different ways. We've had some special events scattered throughout the month to encourage people to get out into our parks and our facilities and be active. We've also created a month-long calendar highlighting existing programs and where people could come and drop into a water aerobics class or participate in a yoga class or a boot camp or do an art activity. So we always come to you a couple of months in advance of Park and Rec Month and kind of ask your thoughts and opinions on how we want to approach that this year and what level of involvement you want to have in that. We kick off our summer concert series in July also. And so just being mindful of that, it is a very busy time for us during the summer. So we try not to overcommit, but we definitely like to at least have one or two events earmarked to really honor the month and celebrate it. And typically we do go to city council as well for the formal proclamation of Parks and Recreation Month. And I know we talked about possibly piecing together a video similar to the SF Parks Alliance that highlights all of our programs and activities and events. So at this point, I will just open the floor to all of you. If you have any ideas for this year's National Parks and Recreation Month, we're all ears.
I think, so previously, I think you guys did a great job last year on putting like a little calendar together of like daily. I think that's something that definitely you can keep. I think also like participation wise, I don't know how many people participate in the community would be something that maybe like, when I think of national parks, I'm thinking of like, obviously like the America's national parks, but maybe having like something kind of like a passport book of like our areas of Brisbane and having a stamp and then some kind of reward for whoever participates maybe. I don't know. And like the daily, I think we had something similar to that though, but around this month of kind of like a passport to whatever the theme is for this, of so that we can see the participation and how many people are engaged with it.
I love that idea, Natalie. Like, I'm thinking of those passport books that are really fun, and you could get entered to win a drawing or something, but it could be something that gets people to maybe parks that they don't always visit. I don't know how we would logistically do it. Maybe it's honor system, but it's a neat idea.
Yeah, and I know like for maybe like the local parks here, some national parks have like their own private stamp and they keep it at like the post or the podium and then you just stamp it and you're like kind of like a honor. I guess would be the honor system, right? Of leaving something there like a podium or here's a poster of National Parks Week or something like that. And it's just around Brisbane, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Yeah. Or maybe putting Frank's house on it. Just kidding.
Stop. My dog would
What
love that.
about a QR code? Each
Yeah,
one
exactly.
could have a QR code.
Yep, with
Yeah.
the photo or something like upload, right? Yeah. Exactly.
Good idea, Julie.
I did want to share too, the theme, there's a theme put out by the National Park and Recreation Association as well. And it just rolled out that this year's theme will be Where You Belong, which celebrates the many ways parks and recreation professionals across the country foster a sense of belonging in their community, which I think also ties in well to what you have just shared. So just so
Yeah.
you're aware of that.
Cool.
Look at you on trend.
I have no idea.
I love it.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, and I guess like the prize is everybody loves Brisbane swag, right? Like it's the hats or I don't.
Yeah, what if you just took a picture of yourself at each of the
Yeah.
parks and it's a park passport and then it's where you belong?
Yeah.
And then you get entered to win something.
Yeah, maybe if it's tied to a QR code, then it gets filtered into like a special
yeah,
account, and then maybe each photo is an entry into a drawing for a prize or something
Yeah.
like that.
National parks have the passes that
Yeah.
get you to all parks.
Mm-hmm.
A whole year pass.
That's very great. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see a whole bunch of rangers out walking,
That's a great idea.
walking the park.
Yeah.
I love those ideas.
I love rangers.
Me too.
I think it's Tom and Lisa that are always sort of moving the idea forward of doing some kind of pin board where we do the photographs. So maybe there's an art component of this.
Yeah, like your national park moment
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
storyboard.
Like a most.
Yeah, we had talked about the pushpin project, a day in the life of Brisbane, and Nicole just said could be a Where You Belong
Yes.
in Brisbane. And that could be the photo element to it.
Making it into like a mosaic piece that looks like the town of Brisbane.
Like a community art piece,
Yeah, yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
That's a
National
nice
park
idea.
people are always checking off their park list, on a map.
Right, like a stick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we can do something around the map with the photos
Yeah.
and the check. Have we got it all covered, with the visuals in our
Yeah.
community,
Yeah.
Very cool.
Love it. See? This is why we bring it to you guys.
Seems like
Does that sound like a lot of work?
Yeah.
Well, the calendar, I mean, we have a good kind of template for that because we just really tried to highlight the existing programs that we have going on. But I think we could fold in this passport where you belong, Brisbane theme into all of those things and then promote it. So I think it's manageable.
And like with promoting, like, does anybody go to like the actual Brisbane elementary school or like the preschools and like say, hey, like, is there a need for us to walk in and wear our
Well,
Park Ranger?
They'll
Yeah,
be,
well.
they won't be in session during July.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Or even
or summer
June.
camp. Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have, multiple platforms and channels that we market to our participants through. So, yeah.
I'm just wondering if some of the Rangers could come and set up a booth during some of the events. I don't know. But we don't, would that be San Mateo County?
San Mateo County Parks.
They're probably doing
yeah.
their own outreach, so.
What's San Mateo County Park? Yeah. Well, we could reach out to them and see if they're willing to come. That would be a nice idea.
Fun. It's always fun to talk to a Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, kids love that.
I do know that I believe with Kaiser and the county, they're offering it's called Take a Hike Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe in August, so not in July, but they're coming to San Bruno Mountain. So that's so maybe we reach out to, we can reach out to them to promote that.
Good idea.
I could imagine a lot of Brisbane members would love to have a Take a Hike T-shirt too. With
I get that.
I love that. So
I get that said to me too often at home, so. I think it's rubbing me the wrong way. No, all good. That's great. Such a classic line, take a hike,
Take a yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
never going away.
Okay.
Sort
Excellent.
of on that theme,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make more work. I'm just trying to generate some ideas here.
Yeah.
We've talked about this several times in the past about having like a social media station where people can do selfies and then post them out on social media. Maybe we try this year with just one station with some sort of thematic thing that's background worthy of a selfie.
That's a great idea. Like an
Smokey the Bear.
Instagram.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. I love that
That's
idea.
Earthy.
Try to
Yeah.
think where we would want to put it that would be centrally located and then how we want it to be themed.
What's the theme again?
Where you belong.
That's a hard theme to
Yeah.
put a visual behind.
Yes.
But
big like
Arrow.
a pinpoint,
like a drop
a
pin,
drop pin.
Yeah,
like on
oh.
maps, like a Google map, we have a drop pin.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, that is so.
It's kind of like an
And
arrow.
it's not like the Christmas tree's up. We can put it right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a great idea. Yeah.
I
When
like
people
that.
put the pins on.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. On theme.
Okay.
And that's like during the concerts in the park too, right? Like that's.
Yeah, it would be up throughout the
that's-
month of July. So,
Yeah, it's very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too. Yeah.
and what?
Poor Nicole,
yeah.
she's like, what the?
No. I love it. Those are
She's
great
like,
ideas.
less brainstorming.
Yeah. No.
Cut.
That's the intent. Okay. We'll make it happen.
Awesome.
And
Any
we-
other ideas before we move on to
We
the
crushed it.
facilities tour
I
location?
think we crushed
We
it.
crushed
Yeah. Next.
We might put you to work though.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
Fine.
Tom and I wear ranger hats.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd
Yeah.
be so cool with patches, Brisbane patches. Oh,
The park patches are cool. You
Yeah,
could
park
easily-
patches
You can
are
design
cool.
some very cool. Look, we're still going.
it's either
I
park
love that
patches or
idea.
the
Park
pins.
patches, sign me up. Yes. And then you could put more on Betsy.
is
So
Yeah. Yeah.
And that
there
could
you
be like
go.
an
Yep.
annual collection.
Park
right?
patch on Betsy. Yep.
Love that.
Love.
And the list keeps coming.
Oh,
They're all good. It's all good stuff though.
all right. Now we will transition to where shall we go on our offsite facilities tour?
So, yeah, usually we have a handful of facilities that we're kind of looking at maintenance or assessing existing conditions. I don't know that we have any of that going on right now, but what I heard from the commission, I think over the last 6 months, that there was maybe a desire to visit public art that we have throughout Brisbane. So if there was a consensus there to do that, we could do like a just general public art of our existing inventory. But I'll leave it to you guys to determine where you would like to go offsite for our traditional June offsite meeting.
How much time do we have for that?
It's,
on a
it's our
Wednesday?
regular meeting time.
So 2 hours or
mhm.
hour or 2 hours?
However long you want it to be.
Is it still sunny out?
Yeah.
It will
That-
be, yeah.
That's why we try to do it in June, so it's a little lighter later.
How long do you think the public art tour would be? The new stuff would be great to.
Yeah, I mean, we did something similar with the public art consultants when they came out. Staff kind of toured them around too with the existing art. I think we could accomplish it within an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That
This
sounds
is
fun.
like art in the marina too, right? Is that stuff?
Mhm.
Okay. Have we ever did a field trip in the marina area either?
Yeah, we did.
We did for Sierra Point, and
Oh.
that vacant parcel there that the city owns.
Have,
I love the idea of the art tour. I mean, I don't have a good frame of reference when we're having those discussions, so I think it would be helpful, especially as this is coming up more and more.
okay, I'm on board with that as well.
I am too.
As we are doing that, is it possible for us to do a audit of wayfinding and signage in the process of
Yeah.
doing that as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And then
Great
lastly,
idea.
for next year, I'm putting this on this year. Is it out of bounds for us to like go visit a facility that you guys think is amazing in some other community?
Not at all.
Okay,
We could definitely do that.
okay.
I like that idea.
That's a great idea.
I mean, and there's some amazing new recreational facilities in our neighboring cities, just with South San Francisco. We'll be there tomorrow night for a CPRS event, actually. Burlingame, Millbrae, San Bruno's about to open theirs. Colma has a relatively new facility. So, I mean, it's good to just have that additional perspective.
You know, Frank, I think we could all visit the art on our own, if we're local, but I like that idea.
I do
think
too,
that
yeah.
seems proactive and
Yeah.
Okay.
being a dreamer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's a great.
Do you guys have a list that you could share with the commission of where all of our public art is? I'm sure Tom is familiar with it, but I don't know that I know exactly where it's all at.
If there's like
Yes.
a map or anything that.
Yeah.
I have like an inventory list with
Oh,
locations.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
And then how about the same thing regarding the signage?
Yeah, no.
It's very important too.
Okay.
What do you think, Julie?
I love the idea.
Like we're all turning around.
No, I think it's a great idea to kind of take a look at some other facilities, and that is something that would be good to do together. And I agree, like if we were provided with a list of art, we can always go check it out. So I would be on board with that.
I'm gonna have to check it out, being on the commission, so can report take photos, maybe even just do a report. Is that too much too soon to do an outreach for a facility?
To go to other facilities? No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we would rely on, I don't have good knowledge of our neighboring communities' facilities, but
We
we
do.
rely on you guys to be
We
like,
do.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Here's the gold standard. This
Yeah.
is what you should be looking at. Okay.
Good call. That's
Just
great.
Yeah, you'll be shocked.
Yeah.
San Bruno's.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that that there's a desire to visit offsite neighboring parks and recreation facilities in adjacent cities for the June offsite tour. And then I will provide you with a list and inventory of our existing public art, and then you're welcome to go and visit it on your own.
Perfect.
Is that
Yep.
okay?
Yeah.
Great.
I like that. And that kind of leads naturally to our next agenda item, which is just kind of, I know we are all, looking at the feasibility of having a nonprofit arm to support large scale park improvements and programs. And I just wanted to do a check-in, see how that's progressing. And whether anyone had anything they wanted to share. I think we'll continue that as an ongoing agenda item in the next few meetings. So anyone make any progress there or anything that they want to highlight?
I met with Burlingame. It was really interesting. I took notes, and hopefully I can get through this quickly. So I met with the president, Carol Yasuda, and Laura Hesselgren, and their name is supportburlingameparks.org. They started in 2013 with about $100, and they're kind of, I would say to summarize that they do a lot of small projects, and the reason why they started is for the tax deduction. And then, it seems like their Park and Rec does a lot of large projects, and so there was a need for a lot of smaller projects. They get most of their income from alcohol sales and events. They've had over $1 million kind of run through their nonprofit since 2013.
Wait, $1 million in alcohol?
Yeah, they do well over there.
Oh my goodness.
Burlingame.
Yeah, Burlingame. Yeah. No, they were really nice, and they shared a lot of information. When they have a bucket of money, they have a board of 13 people, and probably 2 commissioners are on their board. When they get the money, they have a pool of money, and then the board receives ideas, and they vote on the small, these small little ideas. Like, I think they mentioned getting a Santa Claus to come in for Christmas, stuff like that. The most challenging part for them is to keep board members. There's always 2 or 3 active members, and the rest don't really do as much. They don't have a master plan. SupportBurlingamesParks.org is healthy now, and they're optimistic about the future. They're not going away. They work in alignment with, in harmony with the Lions Club and the Rotary Club and the Commission. So they're very well respected, and the community knows who they are. And I thought it was interesting that they work in harmony for those groups that need income as well. Let's see, what else? Their board member, they don't have a financial advisor, but their board members consist of the financial advisor, the marketing people. And when those people go away, it's problematic. Challenges, familiar, they're very, very popular with the community. They said their advice would be to really pick board members that resemble a business. Somebody, a web designer, a marketing person, a salesperson, a financial advisor, those types of things, and keep it focused. They felt like a large project would be really great for a town like Brisbane, and really have a board that is passionate about that project. And that will keep people glued in, but make sure you run it like a business. And my takeaway was we do a really good job at a lot of the smaller things. And Burlingame their Park and Rec does really good larger projects. So they came in to facilitate the small stuff. We're going to be doing, I think we need help with the larger projects and getting them through faster. And just having a focused, talented board working on larger projects, they felt like that's something that they were actually kind of talking about, going, wow, maybe we should rethink what we're doing and get a smarter board that works, that, it stays around, and maybe work towards some larger ones. But they were very generous, and if they're on Zoom tonight, which they're probably not, I thank them for their time and energy. And that's what I have to report, Julie.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. That's great.
It was great.
And
Any
just one
questions?
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so, and I'm sorry if I missed this. Like, did they say that basically the Parks and Rec Commission, what's the interaction with that board like?
That's a good question. It was very healthy, and they worked together, with all the politics involved, that there were certain projects that, were, hey, this is great for this club, for this nonprofit, especially because of the tax deduction. They all worked in harmony. It was really good to be politically tied, because certain donations wouldn't fit politically, but would fit politically with the nonprofit. So I think they're all working in harmony, kind of like we do with the Lions Club.
Great. That's a good example of the Lions Club. Thank you.
I felt that as well, that they're working in harmony with their other groups, and, they do fundraising together, and, but it was interesting. I felt really good that we're focusing on one project, and that we won't have those problems of small little fundraising and alcohol sales, That's it. Well done. I'm glad I got it over with. You guys are next. Did you get yours
Anyone
done?
else?
So I've just reached out to the San Francisco, I believe, I forgot what the alliance is, but I haven't heard back yet. So I was just a little bit curious on how that was, like the reach. Was that easy to get time on their calendars? Because I didn't hear back.
Yeah, it was straight. I think actually putting putting you on the email helped.
Oh, it did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it took
Didn't
about.
occur to me.
Yeah, okay.
I think having an employee on that list, I think it kind of woke them up.
Okay.
And it did take a week or two for them to respond, and after they responded, it was very quick. And I wish the record button didn't work on the Zoom, and I wish I could have gotten a transcript of everything. The record on their end didn't work. But I recommend getting a transcript, because it's a lot to write down.
Yeah.
That is a great idea. I haven't had mine yet, and I also think Tom copying Noreen in, because I had to actually have Noreen intervene for me to get things rolling with my group after not hearing back.
Yeah. I think also I had to, as my signature, I had to go through our Brisbane site and then look at I don't know if you guys know this, we have our titles or our positions or whatever to make sure that it was a legit email coming from me, or like a response. So, and it wasn't spam, right? Like,
That makes
yeah.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all responded with their personal emails too. So
Yeah.
that was.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's the case with San Francisco, but
Yeah.
I got to learn all about their real jobs.
So I was able to reach out to Redwood City, and I had a really great conversation with the president and founding member, Pamela Estes. They've been around since 2012. She got a little giggle. They have about 80,000 residents there, and I'm like, well, we haven't even top 5. And then she's like, and you want to do a foundation, huh? And I was like, yeah, we do. So she said some of the things that are really, really great is she's like, you're going to expose yourself to so many more grant opportunities by having a foundation. She's like, and just like you said, the contributions as well. So she said that's a positive. They didn't exactly have a catalyst for starting their foundation, but their arts commission was just about to be disbanded. And so that was sort of the foundation. It never was disbanded, but that was sort of what got them thinking on that. They only have one employee. It's a part-time admin. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. It's an all-volunteer board. They keep their mission very broad so they can get involved wherever they need to get involved. She said, a key takeaway from our discussion, first of all, it was supposed to be 15 minutes, and then I was like, can I have 30? And then it went 45. And so to Tom's point, if you can get like an AI recording of this, it's going to help you. She said, number one thing that she would advise on is be in lockstep with city council when it comes to fundraising on something. She goes, as a foundation, you're going to be able to move quickly, whether it's raising a small amount of money or getting grants. And she's like, until you've got something specifically earmarked in an account that money's supposed to be going to, do not get ahead of city council on doing any sort of fundraising. So she's like, then you're stuck holding it and it's earmarked for something and you can't do anything with it. So she said that was a huge call out. She said the other thing, the second biggest thing was brand the heck out of this. She goes, nobody should ever be calling you because there's a broken park bench. That has to go to the Park and Recs department at City Hall. And she's like, you have to make sure that there's a designation and people understand. So calling yourself Brisbane Parks and Rec Foundation is going to be no bueno. So she said that's super, super important. She said her board members, she said it was hard to get and retain board members as well. She feels like they're more artsy than business, I guess, in her group there. So she's like, everybody's very active, but again, more artistic. Let's see, what else? They started with a little bit more than $100. The prior Parks and Rec director left them, she passed, and she left them like 80 grand to get started. So that was some nice seed money. Is that about it? Yeah, I think that's about it. So she did send me some tools. I'll get these over to you guys, but the board of directors expectations kind of look what we have too. And so that was pretty interesting that each board of director on the foundation was required to make a donation to the foundation, which is generally how it works. But they left it so loosey-goosey according to personal means. So I was like, I thought that was pretty decent. She also said, you know, I could have used Zoom, but I use pen and paper because I'm 80 years old. But she gave me an attorney that we can use. She gave me an accountant that specializes in foundations and another contact that she highly recommends. So we've got 3 contacts to work from. So it was a really great conversation. And if Redwood City is is watching tonight, thank you so much.
No master plan like Burlingame.
They don't have a master plan. They did one of those ginormous, really cool magical bridge playgrounds. And then there was all these like subcomponents to it, Tom, like they wanted to do a mosaic wall. It just so happened that the pandemic hit. Everybody was stuck at home. They made mosaic kits and just passed them out. And then people, that's what they did. And so now they've got this amazing wall. So there's all these different components to this park that they really get behind. Oh, and then the other thing is that local businesses or little local organizations, they get grant money, but then they make grants for like, you know, I don't know if there was like a Girl Scouts activity or something like that. And then that's what they do. You know, and she was just like, it has to be a local business. It has to be familiar to city council. It has to be familiar to the foundation, but they'll make grants. And so.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. She was really, really fantastic to work with. So.
Awesome.
That is all.
Thank you, Frank.
Between the two, this is a great exercise. I have to say, we're learning a lot really quickly.
Very, very quickly. Yeah, primary research. Yeah. Oh, my question on this, Noreen. We didn't really talk about a repository for all of our learnings. Is this as easy as just sending an email and we just keep them in a folder or something?
Yeah, I mean, either you can send the content to us and we can compile it all and then we can revisit when it makes sense to do so, or we can set up like a Google Drive folder that you can just drop into.
Got it. Okay.
Do you have a preference?
Why don't we do the Google Drive?
Okay.
Because I think that'll save everyone time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've already collected some resources from other cities' foundations in terms of their documents. So their founding documents and all of that. So we can just have a centrally located folder where everybody can access and drop in their information. That would be great. So we can set that up.
Your questions were great, and running late and having that in front of me was really a great help. So
It was very helpful, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're off to a great start. Anything else on that before we kind of transition to reports?
We'll just continue to leave that as an agenda item for the next couple of months. Well, we won't have a meeting in this format for June because we'll be offsite, But for July, we'll bring it back and then we can determine next steps from there.
Excellent. All right, thank you. Looking at reports, I do not have a report today, so no chairperson report. Going on to subcommittees, I do think we had a Public Art Advisory Committee meeting that Tom and Lisa attended. Tom, do you have anything to share from that?
I was unable to attend, so I think we'll have to table that to after June.
Ah.
After June.
Okay.
Are you allowed to chime in?
Yeah, this says 4:15, so that actually wasn't Monday's meeting. We forgot to throw Monday's meeting on there. That's my fault. So just looking at the last couple of meetings that we've had, basically have been focused around the public art master plan. So we met with the consultants on Monday to draft the survey that we're going to be using for community engagement and outreach in the next couple of months. And then the consultants are scheduled to be here on site in Brisbane at the end of July. We'll have them out at a farmer's market, at the concert in the park on Friday night, and as part of the citywide yard sale that Saturday. So they'll have 3 days of very intense opportunities to get familiar with the Brisbane community and solicit input into the master planning effort. So that's kind of the update there, unless you can think of anything else, Tom.
Just the survey.
Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. And then how about subcommittee meetings? Are there any timely meetings that we need to set?
So you may have seen a calendar invite if you're on the teen subcommittee from Jovi for next Wednesday evening. That's kind of it's not exactly a regular teen subcommittee. It's an ad hoc with a couple of representatives from YAC and a couple of representatives from Open Space and Ecology who want to talk about litter reduction efforts. There's some grant money. Our sustainability manager has some grant money for a project like that. And so she thought it might make sense for these three groups to come together to talk about how we could pilot a program utilizing the grant funds that she has available. So that meeting's on the docket for next Wednesday at 6 p.m. for the teen subcommittee. And as far as other subcommittee meetings, just from my perspective, it might be a good time to schedule the first Day in the Park Derby subcommittee meeting because we typically start planning for that and doing outreach. There's a advertisement in the activity guide, a call for vendors, and so we'll start piecing that together in June. So if we could get something on the calendar in the near future for that subcommittee, that would be great.
Julie, you are on that subcommittee.
Thank you, Greg. I just assumed I was, as I assume I'm on every subcommittee. When should we meet? What seems good? Who else is on that subcommittee?
Is this the Derby?
Day in the Park and Derby.
Oh, okay.
It's Trudy and Natalie.
Yes.
Oh, no. Wait.
So Derby, it's
No, Day in the Park and Derby, I have Renee, Lisa, and Natalie.
correct.
You're not on that, Julie.
And then concerts in the park, Julie's on. Yes. And Trudy.
Oh, concerts in the park. okay.
Yes. So Derby in the park, I'll just leave it up to, I guess we can take this offline. And
Yeah.
then I'll wait. Next week is fine. So,
Okay, we'll send an email to
Yep.
Lisa and Renee to
Yeah.
try and get your availability for scheduling that
Okay.
meeting. Okay.
and then you mentioned concerts in the park. Do we have to
I
meet or?
don't know that we need one for
No.
concerts in the park unless you want to
Okay.
meet because I think the bands are already set and at this point we're just doing a call for
Okay.
sponsors.
Got it.
Okay. Anything else on that before we move on to commissioner reports?
I don't think so.
All right, any commissioner reports?
Just a commissioner comment. So Nicole, I just wanted to thank you for sending out the notice about the city council meeting. I was not able to attend, but that is exactly what this commission asked for. And so thank you so much for sending that out. It was appreciated.
We'll try to give you a more advanced notice in the future too. But yes, you can expect more of those from us. And no pressure, but if it's something you want to come and demonstrate support to the council for, then
Absolutely.
we appreciate that.
That is
Yeah,
all.
thank you. And it also, even I couldn't attend, but then we can always watch it,
For sure.
afterward to get a little more information. So thank you. I agree. That was helpful. Are there any staff reports?
You know there always is. Just some updates on programs. So excited to share that we have a track team at Lippman, brand new. I think it started out with like 15 kids who were just dipping their toe in, and now we're up to like 30 kids. So they're having meets at Mills High School, and everybody's super excited and engaged. So that's something new we wanted to share with you. They're, what's up? Both your kids? All right. Well, you can give a full report after the season.
For you or for the kids?
It sounds like they're having fun and learning a lot, so that's great. There's a Lippman pickleball team happening as well, so just tie that into everything else pickleball related that we're doing these days. We have Pilates at Mission Blue and little Tots soccer at the community park coming up. We have spring summer teen nights at the Sunrise Room next Wednesday. And our next senior trip is to the Disney Museum next week. And we will be opening our fall club rec and preschool registration on June 11th. That's a big day because, as you heard from Angela tonight, our after school program does fill up. So we like to announce very early to people to register, be sure to hop online or come into the office and register that day to secure your spot in the after school program for the fall, as well as preschool program. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month. There will be a proclamation at the City Council meeting next week. And Nicole has been very busy planning all the festivities for the month. You may have seen the green lights up around the gazebo in the evening. And this Saturday, we have our Walk for Awareness. So we'll be meeting out here at the entrance to Quarry Trail at the Quarry Park and taking a walk for about 50 minutes to an hour that morning, Saturday morning. 2.7 miles. And we will be departing around 10 a.m. So we're asking everybody to kind of arrive early so that we can have the group depart relatively on time. But it should be a beautiful day, and we invite everybody to come and join us. We also have the What Makes You Smile art campaign. We posted on Instagram some of the drawings that our after school program kids have done. They're very cute. More coming soon, but we encourage everybody, people of all ages, to participate. Take a moment of reflection to doodle what makes you happy and share it with the community. And summer is coming up, as Angela mentioned. Our recruitments are closing. We're looking pretty good with staffing, and then we're just preparing for our week-long summer staff training with both our recreation leaders and our aquatics team. And encouraging everybody, if you wish to sponsor this year's concert series, to contact Jeff and or Nicole. But we're trying to really encourage folks to sponsor at this point because it's go time. We're just a couple months out, so now's the time. And then upcoming events, a Bike to Work Day is next Thursday. So we'll have a station out at Lagoon and Tunnel. Ricardo will be there very early in the morning, greeting folks on their bikes, biking to work. And BDW's spring performance is coming up next weekend on the 18th and 19th. Tickets are available for sale online. And preschool graduation is on June 7th. And finally, we have we'll be running a series of fun Friday rec swims throughout the summer at the pool. And our first Friday fun rec swim is Just Ducky is the theme. And that will take place on June 28th. And that's all.
Awesome. Just special shout out to Nicole for all your work on Mental Health Awareness Month. Really excited about all the activities and the visibility for it, and kind of crushed that I won't be there for the walk, but I hope everyone has a good time. All right. Anything else before we go on to the next agenda item? Commission matters. Do we have any written communications?
We do not.
right. It looks like that takes us to adjournment unless there's anything else.
You got it. Well
All
done.
right.
Your first one.
I am just pretty devastated that I don't have a gavel with me.
Frank will have to be your proxy for
you
the
go.
gavel
Frank,
tonight.
Count me
please
down.
do it. All right. So the next regularly scheduled meeting will be June 12th. It will be our offsite and a tour, and typically we meet at City Hall and depart from there. And with that, the meeting is adjourned at 7:36 p.m. Thanks, everyone.
Yay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Well done.
Enjoy
Julie.
your time in Hawaii, Julie.
Thanks, Julie.
Great job.
Thanks, everyone.
Great
Thanks.
job.